This story is about visualizing knowledge. And I'm going to talk about this in terms of a framework I have for visualizing the thoughts in my mind and navigating them. First, talk about the continuum from noise to character. So, first, there is noise in the universe. And when that noise can be measured, it is called data. And when data is measured in a way that is structured through some kind of pattern, it becomes information. And so now we have noise turning into data and data turning into information. The next thing is if information is sampled over a period of time and stories can be created from this information, it becomes knowledge. And over time, knowledge can be refined and distilled. And that's called wisdom. So wisdom is simplified knowledge. And that's why when you read old books or sort of look at things that have been written a long time ago and then refined and refined and refined, the wisest things are the shortest. Like there could be like one gigantic book of knowledge, and the one sentence summary of that book is the wisdom. And after wisdom comes character, and that's more of a human characteristic. And with wisdom, which is the distillation of knowledge, I think that it becomes clear that living a life without a sense of purpose or even values is less meaningful than pursuing character. And so the order of, I guess, conscious organization of noise through this spectrum is there's first noise, then data, then information, then knowledge, then wisdom, and then character. And so there's a way to organize information both inside a human mind and outside a human mind visually with a coordinate system that captures this idea from 6 simultaneous perspectives, which I explained on earlier videos about energy and information systems. And around this time of this story, I was thinking about a way to generalize my ideas about energy and information and what's essentially the underlying relationships between these 6 perspectives in a spatial model. And what I realized is more than just defining a system as energy, information, and rules, which maps 6 perspectives of consciousness, which is who or what am I looking at? How many are there? Where are they? When are they? How did they get here? And why? Is that if those things are sampled at snapshots in time, you have a comprehensive view of a system. So this was energy and information systems, previous video of this. But that is just the architecture of the structure of the relationships between the elements that make up a system, which is good to know because this describes things like a marble rolling down a ramp or money flowing through a business or everything I've ever seen. But knowledge visualization is a way to navigate it and map it to a coordinate system. And so it's a structured approach for organizing all 6 perspectives as snapshots in time, and then putting the components of those snapshots in a coordinate system that can be navigated and is is a model of cognition, dynamic model of cognition, I suppose. And this is how I think. So, so what I'm describing here with knowledge visualization is a framework and a way to know things and visualize the knowledge that exists in an energy and information system. And this is useful for me because it's how I process information and weave these stories together. But more importantly, as human beings advance technologies to implement interfaces to the human brain using computer chips, software, this is a way to take the information in those data streams inside a mind that is currently today in 2023, end of 2023, able to be transmitted from a mind through the air to a computer. And one example of this is a company called Neuralink, one of Elon Musk's companies. And they're doing this today. Like, this exists today. And what I'm saying is that the data that's in that wireless stream that's being broadcast through the air to a computer and back could be visualized in this way, intercepted and visualized in this way, and mapped to a coordinate system, and could be navigated in this way that I'm describing. And also thinking forward some years, is it will be possible for two people to interface minds in this visual way. If the data, so backing up, not to go mad scientist on this, but if you believe that there are 6 perspectives of cognition and that everything fits in that, and if you believe there is a coordinate system that could be utilized to organize those 6 perspectives, and if you believe that those 6 perspectives can be mapped to pictures, 6 types of pictures, then if you believe all 3 of those things, the next thing is, and if you believe that this information exists in a human mind, and that information can now, in current technology, be intercepted and broadcast to a computer, then it would be possible for another person to both look with their eyes at a computer screen and see these 6 perspectives in another person's mind. But going one step past that, if the second human mind also had this brain chip called Neuralink, and these 6 images could be broadcast directly into the other person's mind, then the other person would have a way to interface with another person visually, spatially, and send thoughts back and forth wirelessly in this visual way. It's a visual representation of what's happening. And if that is possible, then everyone on the planet could be connected together in this hive mind, scenario. And this, I think, would be advantageous as a species to connect people together in this way, because it bypasses empathy. So empathy is a way for people to feel other people's feelings, and empathy comes through a lens of stories that people believe. People hear stories and they believe stories, and that creates a framework for empathy for other people. And when other people have different stories, then there's less empathy in general. This is observation. Then generally people can't connect with other people that believe different stories in different ways. And it creates, conflicts. It creates the potential for conflicts. When people aren't connected through empathy, it creates the potential for conflicts. But in this scenario, what I'm describing with current technology, we're pretty close to this idea that I think that if people could gain other people's perspectives through this mechanism, I think it would help. And but or I guess it could hurt. But the idea is that that everyone has a different perspective. Everyone has different stories. Everyone has different definitions of words and feelings and everything. And we use these words in the air that I'm propelling from my body right now, vibrating the air, sending electrical signals into your mind through a variety of channels, sight, sound, innuendo, inflection, tone, all these things. And you're making up a story about what I'm saying, and you're trying to, or maybe you're not trying. Anyway, if you are understanding or trying or not, whatever you're experiencing, watching this right now, there's a story in your mind that is forming because I'm using calories from the sun to move this information from my mind into your mind. Now, that's an inefficient process and fraught with all kinds of errors in stories of what you might be thinking, like my reason for doing it, like whatever it is like happening in your mind right now. It doesn't match what's in my mind, especially why stories. There's an infinite number of why stories. So this creates the potential for miscommunication, misunderstanding, and conflict. And so knowledge visualization is a way to use these models that I use to navigate life and scale them so we could communicate better and share our knowledge, share our noise, our data, our information, our knowledge, our wisdom, and our character so that we can get along better as a species. So I am working on later, maybe 2028, deploying this idea in different ways. I have created software called Visualizer that does what I'm describing here, but for business. And I think there's a chance that this can be scaled in different ways because what I'm describing for business, with money moving through a business or a marble rolling down a ramp or an idea that becomes a story that becomes something that appears in the real world, is, I think, an important way for people to communicate things. So that's knowledge visualization.